All right, so let's get into it. AI and how it's impacting the economy.
Okay.
Zeroing in on SoundHound AI, they're making some serious moves in the tech world.
Right.
You sent over this article from the Motley Fool,
Yeah.
March 3, 2025, so pretty recent.
Uh-huh.
It's titled, One Artificial Intelligence Stock That Can Thrive in America's New Economy. So, pretty bold statement.
Definitely.
So, our mission is to kind of like unpack all this, see what SoundHound AI's potential is really all about.
Sounds good.
Explore their voice recognition technology and see why this article is saying they might be, a really good investment opportunity.
Yeah, and it's interesting how they tie the company's success to, like, the bigger picture, the economic landscape.
Yeah, totally. They keep talking about this new economy in America.
Right.
It mentions how, like, protectionist policies from back in the Trump administration, like tariffs and moving away from globalization, kind of changed the whole investment game.
Yeah, it seems like the whole world is kind of shifting, and investors are looking for those opportunities that can succeed in this new reality.
Totally. And AI is like this, the star of the show right now.
For sure.
Companies are, trying to become more efficient, especially with costs going up everywhere.
Yeah.
And AI is like stepping in to help out.
Right. The article makes a pretty strong argument that this AI wave isn't just like a passing trend. It's a fundamental change in how businesses operate.
Okay, so where does SoundHound AI fit into all of this?
Well, the article highlights SoundHound AI. They trade on the NASDAQ under SUN as like a prime example of a company that's ready to thrive in this evolving economic landscape.
Okay.
They're all about voice recognition technology, and they've got a pretty impressive market cap of $4 billion as of March 3, 2025.
Whoa.
Same day the article was published.
That's a lot of cheddar, but their stock did dip a bit that day, down 4.62%, according to the article.
Yeah.
Still $4 billion market cap, not too shabby.
Not at all.
What I find interesting is they're not just focused on one industry. It's like they've got their fingers in a lot of different pies.
Right, and that diversification is huge. Like if one sector hits a rough patch, they've got these other areas to balance things out. It's like a safety net.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in cars, restaurants, smart devices. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're just like dipping their toes in.
No, they're making waves.
They're working with over 30% of the top quick service restaurant brands, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Yeah. Their footprint in the restaurant industry is huge. They're shaping how we order food.
Really?
The article says they've processed hundreds of millions of dollars in restaurant orders and handled over 100 million customer interactions.
Wow.
Imagine the data they're gathering on consumer preferences. That's incredibly valuable.
It's like they're sitting on a gold mine of information about what people want to eat and how they want to order it.
Exactly.
It's not just burgers and fries, though, right?
They're in healthcare, too. Exactly. They've partnered with some big names like Duke Health and Wellstar Health System.
Nice.
And they're making their mark in automotive, too, collaborating with electric vehicle manufacturers like Lucid Motors.
Wow.
They even have their voice assistant tech in Stellantis brands across Europe.
It's kind of mind-boggling how a company specializing in voice recognition can be so successful across so many different industries.
It is.
What's their secret sauce? What are they doing that others aren't?
Well, their article points to two major AI trends, that SoundHound is really on top of agentic AI and voice commerce.
Okay, let's break those down. Agentic AI, that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It kind of is. Agentic AI is all about creating these systems that can handle complex tasks without needing a human to jump in.
Okay.
It's not just about setting reminders. It's about AI anticipating your needs and taking action.
Got it.
Like imagine your AI assistant rescheduling a meeting for you based on your preferences and your availability without you even having to lift a finger.
Wow, that's next level.
Right.
Okay, and then there's voice commerce.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
Voice commerce is basically shopping using just your voice, like saying, hey, order me a pizza to your smart speaker. Yeah. But SoundHound is taking it a step further.
Oh, really?
They actually launched the first ever in-vehicle voice commerce platform for food ordering.
Wait, so you can order food while you're driving?
Exactly. You're stuck in traffic, your stomach's growling, and with a few words to your dinner is ordered and waiting for you when you get home.
It's amazing.
No more scrambling for your phone or pulling over to find a restaurant. It's all about that seamless experience.
That's pretty impressive. It makes you wonder if drive-through lines will even exist in the future.
Right.
But back to SoundHound's financials. The article mentioned they had amazing growth in 2024.
Oh, yeah. They did. They ended 2024 with $84.7 million in revenue, which is an 85% increase from the year before.
Wow.
And get this, they're projecting revenue between $157 million and $177 million for 2025.
That's a huge jump. It sounds like the market is really hungry for what they're offering. But do they have the financial stability to back up these projections?
According to the article, they're in great shape. They've got almost $200 million in cash and zero debt, which gives them a lot of flexibility and room to grow.
So it's not just hype. They've got the numbers to support it. But what really separates them from other AI companies?
Well, the article emphasizes that SoundHound isn't just talking about AI, they're actually putting it into practice.
All right.
They're implementing and deploying AI solutions at scale across all these different industries, and they're doing it right now.
So while other companies are still in the research and development phase, SoundHound is out there in the real world gathering data and refining their tech.
Exactly. They're not just dreaming about the future. They're building it.
It's like they're the pioneers forging a new path and showing everyone what's possible.
Yeah.
But this new economy that the article talks about, how does it all connect to SoundHound's success?
Well, they draw a parallel between SoundHound's growth and this shift toward a more localized, tech-driven economy.
You mean how America's new economy is becoming less dependent on, traditional globalization and more focused on domestic innovation?
Precisely. And AI, with companies like SoundHound at the forefront, is at the core of this innovation. They're not just selling software, they're selling a piece of the future.
A future where AI plays a crucial role in driving economic growth and transforming how we interact with the world around us. It makes you think, is voice really the key to unlocking this future?
It's a compelling question. Voice is the most natural way for us to communicate, so it makes sense that it would become the main way we interact with technology.
Imagine a world where we control our homes, our cars, even our work with just our voices.
Yeah.
It sounds futuristic, but with companies like SoundHound pushing the boundaries, it feels like it's just around the corner.
That's what makes this so fascinating. We're on the edge of a major shift, and SoundHound seems to be in a position to lead in this new era.
For sure. But we've been talking a lot about the positives. Are there any downsides to this, voice-activated everything future?
That's a great question, and it leads to a really important point. Is this future all sunshine and roses, or are there some storm clouds on the horizon?
Right. Are there any risks associated with this reliance on voice and AI? Let's unpack those questions in the next part of our deep dive.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
It's true. Relying so heavily on voice and AI, there could be some challenges.
Okay.
One that comes to mind is vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities, what do you mean?
Well, think about security and privacy.
Right.
As we're using, voice commands for more and more things in banking, controlling our homes, there's a bigger risk of those systems being hacked or compromised.
That's a good point. Imagine someone getting access to your smart home system and controlling your lights thermostat, even your security system. That's scary.
Exactly. And as we share, even more personal information through voice interactions, the chances of data breaches and misuse, it becomes a real concern.
So security and privacy, definitely things to think about.
Yeah.
But wouldn't companies like SoundHound be working hard to address these issues?
Oh, absolutely. It's in their best interest to create systems that are secure and trustworthy.
Right.
But it's a challenge, especially as technology is changing so fast.
Yeah.
It's like this constant race to stay ahead of the bad guys.
Okay, so security is one hurdle. What else could throw a wrench in the works?
Another challenge is the potential for bias in these AI systems.
Okay.
They learn from the data they're given, right? And if that data has biases, the AI can just keep those biases going sometimes without us even realizing it.
That's a tricky one. So if an AI system is trained on data that's reflects existing societal biases,
right,
it could end up making decisions or recommendations that are unfair or discriminatory.
Exactly. For example, if a voice assistant is mainly trained on male voices, it might have trouble understanding female voices,
right,
which leads to errors or frustration.
Makes sense. It really shows how important it is to have diverse and representative data when training these AI systems. But isn't that something companies are already aware of and working on?
Definitely, the industry is realizing more and more the importance of ethical AI development and addressing these biases. But it's an ongoing process that requires, being careful and paying attention.
So we've got security concerns and the issue of bias. Any other potential downsides to this AI-powered voice-controlled future?
Well, there's the worry about jobs.
Right.
As AI systems get more and more advanced, they're able to automate tasks that humans used to do, and this could lead to job losses in certain areas.
That's a valid concern. Automation has always been disruptive.
It has.
But AI has the potential to take it to a whole new level.
Exactly. Think about customer service reps, data entry clerks, even truck drivers.
Yeah.
These are all jobs that could be affected as AI and automation become more common.
It's a little unsettling, but couldn't AI also create new jobs and opportunities?
Absolutely. History has shown us that, advances in technology often lead to new industries and jobs that we couldn't have imagined before.
It's like the classic example of the car replacing horse-drawn carriages.
Mm-hmm.
Some jobs were lost, but tons of new ones were created in manufacturing, repair, sales, all sorts of things.
Right. And the same could happen with AI. We might see a huge need for AI specialists, data scientists, people who are skilled at managing and maintaining these complex systems.
So it's not just about losing jobs. It's about a shift in the types of skills that will be needed.
Exactly. It really emphasizes how important it is to be adaptable and, keep learning as technology keeps changing.
Okay, but let's shift gears for a second, go back to SoundHound AI.
Sure.
This article makes them sound like they're really changing the game.
Yeah.
But are they really leading the pack, or are there other companies out there doing equally impressive things?
That's a great question. SoundHound is definitely a major player in the AI and voice recognition world.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of competition, and other companies are making big progress too.
So who are, SoundHound's biggest rivals? Who should we be watching?
Well, one that comes to mind is Google. They've been leading in AI research for years, and their voice assistant, Google Assistant, is everywhere.
Yeah, Google Assistant is on everything these days. Smartphones, smart speakers, even cars.
Yeah.
They've really got a strong presence.
Another big competitor is Amazon.
Right.
Their voice assistant, Alexa, is behind this huge system of smart home devices, and it's a household name now.
It seems like everyone I know has an Alexa at home. And they're always adding new stuff, new features, new integrations.
And then there's Apple, of course.
Right.
Siri, their voice assistant, is in all their devices and has a lot of loyal users.
It's interesting how all these big tech companies are fighting for control in the voice assistant world.
Mm.
But are there any smaller companies or startups that are kind of shaking things up?
Oh, there are definitely some up-and-comers to watch. One is a company called OpenAI.
Okay.
They're developing these advanced language models that can generate human-quality text and have the potential to completely change how we interact with computers.
OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT.
Right.
That's the chatbot everyone's been talking about, the one that can write poems and code and even have pretty realistic conversations.
That's the one they're pushing the limits of what AI can do, and their work is definitely worth paying attention to.
So it sounds like the AI landscape is constantly changing and evolving.
It is.
With all these companies competing and coming up with new ideas, it's hard to know who will end up on top.
That's what makes it so exciting. We're watching a technological revolution happen right now, and the possibilities seem endless.
But as we're navigating all of this, this new territory,
Yeah.
it's important to remember the potential problems as well as all the promises of this AI-driven future.
Absolutely. We need to think about the ethical implications, the possibility of bias, and the impact on jobs and society as a whole.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm left with a feeling of both excitement and caution.
Yeah.
It's clear that AI is powerful and has the potential to change our world in huge ways.
Yeah.
But it's our job to make sure we use this power responsibly and create a future that works for everyone.
Well said. And as we move forward, it's so important to stay informed, have these discussions, and really think critically about the information we come across about AI and its impact on our lives.
So let's turn the conversation over to you, the listener.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on all this? Are you excited about the possibilities of AI, or are you worried about the potential downsides?
You're right. What questions do you have?
What would you like us to explore more in the final part of our deep dive?
It's wild to think how much things have changed just in the past few years.
I know, right?
We went from those big, clunky desktops to smartphones that can do almost anything. And now it feels like we're about to live in a world where we can control all that stuff with just our voice.
It really is amazing how fast technology changes.
Yeah. And AI is moving so quickly. It's kind of hard to even imagine what things will look like in 5 or 10 years. I know it makes you think.
It's exciting and a little scary at the same time.
Definitely.
On one hand, you've got this potential to solve some huge problems with AI, like developing new medicines or fighting climate change.
Right.
But then there's that fear of the unknown, What if AI gets out of control or people use it for bad things?
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
It is.
And it really shows why we need to be having these conversations about AI, what it means for us, and how we want to guide its development.
We can't just sit back and let tech run the show.
Yeah.
We need to be involved in shaping the future, making sure AI is used for good.
Yeah.
And that it benefits everyone.
Absolutely. And that starts with education and awareness.
Yeah.
The more we understand about AI, how it works, what it can do, the better we'll be at making smart decisions about its place in our lives.
We need to demystify AI.
Yeah. Break it down.
Put it in terms everyone gets so we can really encourage critical thinking about what it all means.
And it's not just about the tech stuff. We have to consider the ethical side of it, the potential for bias, and how it affects jobs and society as a whole.
We need to be having these open, honest conversations about these challenges and get different voices and perspectives involved.
Exactly. And we need to set clear rules and guidelines to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
It's a big task, but we have to get this right. The stakes are too high to ignore it.
I agree.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into SoundHound AI and this whole future of voice tech, let's leave you with a few key takeaways.
Okay.
First, AI is here to stay, and it's only going to become more and more a part of our lives.
Second, voice technology is about to change how we interact with everything around us.
And third, companies like SoundHound AI are leading this revolution, creating these innovative solutions that are shaping the future.
But fourth, and this might be the most important,
Okay.
it's up to us to make sure this future is the one we want a future, where AI is used ethically, responsibly, and benefits everyone.
So what does all this mean for you? What role do you want to play in shaping the future of AI?
What steps can you take to stay informed and involved in this world that's changing so quickly?
We encourage you to keep thinking about these questions, keep learning about AI, and share your thoughts and ideas with others.
Because ultimately, the future of AI isn't something that's going to be decided for us. It's something we'll create together.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.